All right, guys, so another question I get all the time is, should you follow message boards or do you read any other forums or anything or whatever? And the short and long answer to that is absolutely not, okay? You know, usually message boards or whatever, any of that kind of stuff is just, there's so much noise and everybody is out to push their own opinion, basically to try to influence stocks, okay? So whatever, you know, people are saying, they'll say whatever they want just to try to influence people or influence you or better their position, okay? So the whole entire world of Twitter, StockTwits is obviously a community where people communicate, but everybody is basically pushing out information only with the goal of, you know, benefiting themselves. They're not doing it for you. That's the last thing that anybody is doing it for, is they're basically just doing it for themselves. So take everything you see out there in the world with just a grain of salt, okay? So long answer and short answer, don't listen to anybody else in the Twitter sphere, StockTwits world, or message boards. You gotta make your own decisions. Next up, guys, is should you ever take stock tips, okay? Again, short and long answer is no, okay? You have to be able to do your own diligence and make your own decisions. As I've said before, never start trading until you have the knowledge of a pro day trader, okay? Until you have gone through a full educational system, you know, completed Cloud 9, found a mentor to guide you along the way, never make a trade. So never take a stock tip from anyone, okay? Unless you take that idea, you know, process it in your own way and can have the ability to make your own decisions, okay? So this also comes to, should you ever follow my alerts in the chat room? The answer is no. Okay, so I am making these decisions because I know what I'm doing and because I did my own due diligence and I have a game plan and a trading plan and I'm gonna plan, execute, and profit that, okay? The only reason or only way you should ever follow one of my alerts is, one, if you are already watching that stock and you were getting ready to buy it, maybe I just bought it before you. Or if all of a sudden I bought a stock and you weren't looking at that one, you know, obviously, you know, you can't look at everything at the same time. So I bought a stock, you're now looking at it and saying, hey, this is actually still in a good place for me to potentially buy this. I'm gonna set up a game plan and a trading plan around this idea and make these decisions for myself, okay? So if you still have the ability and the stock hasn't blown up yet and you can look at it and say, this is still in a good buy area, I'm gonna take this trade, set up a trading plan and actually execute it. But never ask me what I should be doing, okay? If we're trading the same stock, guess what? We are now in a competition. I do not want to tell you what price I'm gonna sell it at, okay? Because we're competing for that exit price. So people are always asking me, hey, Foos, what's your stop? Or where are you gonna sell this, okay? We're in a competition now. We're both trading the same stock, okay? We are now competing for the best exit on this stock. So I'm not gonna tell you exactly what price I'm looking to sell it at, okay? If you've gone through the system, you're gonna know exactly which areas I'm gonna look at to potentially get out of this position or what my stops are gonna be. But no, the last thing I wanna do is tell you the exact price. Otherwise, we're gonna be competing to get at that same price. And that's exactly the wrong thing that I wanna be putting myself into in this game. Again, like I had talked about before, day trading is a competition. Am I truly here to, you know, make you money? No, I mean, I am, but you know, I'm gonna also compete with you. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what my entry and exit prices are, you know, at that point, okay? That's just not how this game works. We're in a competition if we're trading the same stocks. So you have to do your own diligence. Never follow my alerts unless you can set up a game plan and trading plan for yourself around it. Never ask me what you should be doing. So next up is, what really is the stock market and can you predict it? And I don't know if you've seen the movie Wolf of Wall Street. You probably have. You know, if you're interested in the stock market, it's obviously one of the classic stock market movies to watch. And there's a scene where Matthew McConaughey, you know, is talking to Leonardo DiCaprio, and he couldn't have said it better about what the stock market is. I thought it was, what he said was a woozy, it's a wazi, but I think it's an Italian term called a faguzzi, a fagazi, which basically just means nothing. You know, it's a dust, it's bullshit. There's no predicting the stock market. Nobody knows what the hell's gonna happen at any given point, at any given time. Warren Buffett doesn't know. You know, I think I already said this before, but you know, nobody knows. That's not what trading is. That's not what the stock market is. It's not predicting things, okay? That's not possible, okay? People ask me all the time, how do you predict the stock market, or what's the best play for today? It's like, I don't know. there's probably a list of opportunities out there, and you got to go manage the risk. And that's what trading is, okay? All trading is, all investing is a facade, a fishbowl of opportunities in which you can come up with formulas or strategies to trade and manage the risk. From there, you either win or you lose. Like I always say, you know, I only win about on half my trades, which is literally because you basically have a 50-50 chance of coming out on top for every trade. You just try to manage the risk and come out with a profit or a small loss. And that, my friends, is the stock market in a nutshell, okay? It's not about stock picking. It's about taking these opportunities that are listed in front of you, trying to find the best ones, picking them, and then managing the risk. There's absolutely no, you know, predicting the stock market. One of my biggest pet peeves in trading is I told you so traders. Just like that story about that guy saying, you know, he had done all this research about Tesla's earnings and then it's gonna blow up, okay? And after the fact, he comes in and he's like, I told you so, I knew it. No, you didn't know shit, okay? You took an opportunity and you were actually not managing the risk very greatly, because the risk behind, you know, just placing a trade solely based on earnings, you're either gonna make or break that situation. So in the reality, the risk reward was not there. So in my opinion, that was a very poor trade. And every trade you make has to have a positive or strong risk reward. So at the end of the day, guys, you cannot predict the stock market. Don't be an I told you so trader, because you're gonna look like an idiot and you're gonna piss off a lot of people. Next quick topic I wanna talk about, which I don't really get questions asked about it, but I know a lot of people do it. I've done it before a lot as well, and it's the topic of, should you compare yourself to other traders? And I don't think you should, okay? Every trader typically has a different situation. They have a different mindset. They start with different trading capital. They might be at a different broker. They might be living in a different environment. They might be living in a different time zone. So many different things that could go into, you know, them being just a completely different person. Every trader out there is different. So if you find yourself, especially, you know, people that come in the market or want to learn how to day trade, and they say they're starting with $5,000, and they look at what trades I'm making and the profit or loss number. Say I made $2,000 on a day trade for just one trade, and I'm trading with a $150,000 account and they're trading with $5,000. They're expecting that they should be making a $2,000 trade as well, when they're only trading with $5,000, when I'm trading with a $150,000 account. So I don't think you should ever be comparing yourself to other traders. For one, there's probably not gonna be you know, similar comparisons for, you know, what your current situation is. You know, if you are gonna compare, look for somebody that's on the same playing field as you, somebody that's been trading for just as long as you, has the exact same capital, you know, trading under the same conditions as you. So there's so many different factors that can come in that can affect why you should not be comparing yourself to other traders. All I think it is causing more stress, and you're going into the game with expectations. This kind of takes away from, you know, using the no expectations rule. If you're going with the if you're having expectations like, oh, this trader did this, I need to be doing that, okay? I need to be making $2,000 a day, or I need to make a trade better than that, okay? All that's gonna do is cause confusion, distraction, and more stress in your life. So, you know, trading is a personal thing. You know, it's something that you're doing for yourself and on your own. You can obviously have trader buddies and whatnot, but I don't think you should ever compare yourself to another trader. Trade for yourself and focus on you. Screw what everybody else is doing. Learn as much as you can about yourself and how you can focus on, you know, investing the time to be the best trader that you can be, rather than focusing on what somebody else is doing. All right, guys, so next topic here is how the overall market sentiment can affect your trading and what to look out for. So if we are in a bullish market, what do I do with my trading strategy? And first off, how do you indicate if we're in a bullish market? For me, again, this comes back to the 13 EMA, something I talk about a lot in all of my FUS4 trading programs. If you look at the Dow Jones Index, if you look at the ticker INDU, maybe sometimes it might have a money symbol INDU on whatever platform you're looking at. So if we are above the 13 EMA on the Dow, For me, that indicates a short-term trend is bullish. So in this phase, this is typically when I can have the most confidence in my long positions, especially my swing trades. If I'm going to be doing overnight swing trading and we're in a bull market, you have a lot more confidence that if the market continually goes up on a day-to-day basis, your swing trades that are on the long side are probably going to have a much better chance of going up on a day-to-day basis. So you can be more confident in your swings. The small cap market is going to have a lot of movement and a lot of volatility of stocks making big moves to the upside. So there's going to be a lot more long positions. But on top of that, guys, you know, when there is the bullish market like this, you're going to see a lot of parabolic moves. And I love shorting parabolic moves. I love catching stocks on the downside. So this is also going to present a lot of day trading opportunities to the short side. But you have to be very careful because you can also get yourself in some sticky situations. If you're going short a lot in a bull market, you might be thinking, oh man, there's no way this can go higher, okay? And I'm gonna short here. But a lot of times some of these stocks just continue to get squeezed. So a lot of people get squeezed pretty hard in bull markets. So you have to be, you know, cautious of that. When the market is down below the 13 EMA and we're trending to the bearish side, this is when you need to be extremely quick on your day trades when you're going long. You need to be taking advantage of scalps every day on the long side. Your swing trades, you need to be locking in profits. Obviously, if you're in a swing trade to the long side, basically if you buy a stock and you're hoping that it's going to go from $4 to $8, that's a 100% gain. That's probably not what we're looking for, usually more around a 20% gain. But if you're hoping on a day-to-day basis this stock goes up, and the market on a day-to-day basis is under the 13 EMA, trending down and continually goes down on a day-to-day basis, the likelihood of your swing trade on the long side to continue to go up when the entire market is going down isn't very probable. So you have to be a lot quicker to take your profits. That's why when we're in bear markets, a lot of my day trades, or I sometimes don't even swing trade at all, I'm just scalping on the long side for swing trading. If you see big moves, parabolic moves to the upside, when we're in a bear market, this is when you can be a lot more confident in potentially swing trading some of these short patterns, okay? If you all of a sudden see a huge stock, you know, go up 100% and the market's continually going down, that's a lot of times it's gonna be a short-term spike to the upside. You can take big advantage of that stock going short and seeing continuous drop from there. So that's kind of how I gauge what's going on. Basically just using the 13 EMA. If the market's above the 13 EMA, we're bullish, more confident in my swing trades on the long side. And again, be cautious on shorting parabolic moves because really some of these stocks just continue to get squeezed. Shorts get screwed out of these stocks. When the market's below the 13 EMA, be very careful with your swing trades on the long side as the entire market's betting against you at that point. You can have more confidence in your swings on your shorts, and your day trade scalps to the long side be very, very quick to lock in those profits. So that's kind of how I look at the overall market on a day-to-day basis when I'm trading. I'm sure I've already mentioned this before, guys, but I'm just going to repeat it because it is very important. And that is that understanding how to lose is so much more important than understanding how to win, okay? You know, the only way to prevent yourself from failure in the stock market is having complete understanding how to lose correctly. And that just basically boils down to understanding that losing in the stock market is a choice, which we've talked about a lot, and the ability to have discipline to cut your losses short, okay? Again, the only way to blow your account up is by not cutting your losses and allowing a little loss turn into a big loss. So that is one of the biggest things you gotta learn, guys, is how to lose, okay? You're gonna lose a lot. Again, my win ratio is only about 50%. So the thing there is that I lose small, and the other 50% of the time when I'm winning big. So winning is the easy part, okay? Understanding how to lose is the problematic part that turns into people failing as day traders. Another thing here, guys, is never trade in fear. And this basically comes back to, you know, if you're not feeling it that day, if there's something going on in your personal life that's holding you back, or if you just had a really big losing day the previous day, don't even trade at all, okay? Never trade in fear, only trade under conditions where you are confident and ready to go for the day. Another thing that this leads into, and this happens with so many people in the beginning, is that they're trading money that they can't afford to lose. So if you're using money that you cannot afford to lose, if you're in a desperate time of your life and you're like, okay, this is my last $1,000 or something and I'm gonna go bet it in the stock market, okay? You're gonna be trading in fear, okay? So you can't do that. Get your life together, save up some money and some capital on the side that you can use comfortably. Otherwise, you're gonna be trading in fear every day, and that's gonna lead into you basically probably blowing up your account. Then you're gonna have nothing, okay? You just use money that you cannot afford to lose. Now you're completely broke and your just personal life is totally fucked. So never, ever use money that you can't afford to lose when it comes to day trading. Save up some money that you can actually trade with. And if you lose it, obviously that sucks. Nobody ever wants to lose money. But you know, have a stable life before you begin day trading. We are down to the wire here, and we're gonna close out with basically my thought and process checklist that I use every day for placing hopefully profitable trades or just for small losses. So this is just a list that I kind of go through every day, kind of a ritual of placing the trade, I'm gonna call it, okay? So first up is creating your watch list, okay? Every day you need to create a list of stocks that are handpicked, that are the most familiar patterns that you know and your favorite kind of patterns to trade, okay? This is basically setting up a list of stocks that can be preemptive strikes, okay? You don't just walk into the market session and be like, all right, let's see what kind of stocks I can find today, okay? You walk into the market with a list of setups that you're ready to fire on instantaneously as soon as they trigger certain levels that you're familiar with, okay? When you're trading stocks that you're familiar with, you can have more confidence in trading them because you've been down that road before and you know kind of what to expect when you're making those trades. Level 2 in order forms, okay? So when I go into every trade or when I'm setting up my pre-market watch list and I look at whatever stock that I had been trading or whatever stock I put on the watch list from the night before, prior to the market open, I look at what stocks I'm looking at to trade, what prices they're at, and then I go to my level 2, my actual trading platform, and I look at what's happening with level 2, I look at the time and sales, see what kind of pre-market action is going on, and then I set my exact prices that I'm looking to get in these stocks in, as well as the share count sizes that I'm looking to buy or sell or short, okay? So it's, again, all about premeditation, all about preparation. So rather than, you know, say I'm looking at stock XYZ on the chart and then I'm waiting for it to do something, then once it does, I'm like, oh, let me go fill out my order form of how many shares I'm looking to buy and at what price. I already have that set up, so all I gotta do is click buy or sell or short, ready to surefire at this stock, ready to execute this trade, okay? So it's all about preparation. Always have whatever stocks are on your watch list, your top plays, set up and ready to go in your level 2 to execute those trades. Trading plan, okay? So again, this comes into the plan, execute, profit. Every trade you go into, you need to have a trading plan. So before you go into that trade, identify support areas, identify resistance areas, identify what areas are gonna be looking to buy, sell, or short, okay? You have to go in with a trading plan. Otherwise, you go into the game plan, or you go into the trade, you know, with the question of what do I do now? And again, that question of where should I sell or should I sell here? To avoid all that confusion, set up a trading plan before you actually go into that trade. So every day, create my watch list, set up my order forms, set up a trading plan before I actually make the trade. Execution, okay? This is game time, guys, okay? You got 110% focus, okay? No distractions whatsoever. You know, never take a phone call, don't talk to your girlfriend, okay? Like, don't let somebody sit there and watch you and breathe down your neck. Just like I said, the most annoying question I get is, hey, Foos, could I come breathe down your neck while you're trading? Like, fuck no. I don't want you breathing down my neck or watching me or asking me questions while I'm trading, okay? You got about 90 minutes to come out on top or come out with a small loss, okay? So any kind of distractions that are there through execution time, that 90 minutes, get rid of everything as much as possible as you can. Just like, you know, that construction, I had to move into this place where there's no distractions there. So the execution game time is all about minimizing distractions. Don't let anybody bother you during this time. This is your time to shine. The exit, and this is the most difficult part of the trade. But again, it makes it so much easier to make that exit if you have a game plan, okay? Just like I said, plan, execute, profit. You know, if you go into the trade without a game plan, you're not gonna know where to sell. So you have to have the discipline to actually set it up, and more importantly, to actually click sell when you need to. And that's what we're trying to learn here in Cloud9, guys, is to learn the discipline that, you know, I need to sell at this price, okay? Just like I said before, FUS 401, 2, and 3, invaluable information. Understanding where resistance levels are, understanding chart patterns, that's all great and all, but unless you can process that information and click buy and sell when you need to, everything you know is out the window. Who cares? Because you can't get your brain to actually click buy and sell when you need to. So the exit is a huge part. Again, having that knowledge and practice is just, you know, part of the game of learning on a day-to-day basis and actually executing it. All right, so moving on to evaluating losses, okay? So losses are gonna happen again. You know, this is completely normal. Just like I always say, I lose on 50% of my trades. So the thing that you gotta evaluate and understand as well is if you come out of a trade with a loss, okay, when you're making your evaluation of what just happened, if you stuck to your trading plan, if you took a small loss, then that's a great trade, okay? Because we know that losing is very normal, okay? But as long as you stuck to your trading plan and you took a small loss, that's a great trade. So never let that affect your evaluation of, oh man, I had, you know, 50% losers today. But did you actually execute those trades good? Did you cut out those losses actually for small losses? Then great. Then that means you're on the right track and you're making solid trades here. The problem is if you're actually making big trades, you need to identify that, or big losses, identify that and own it, and actually try to work on fixing that and understanding that you need to work on your discipline and actually stopping out when you should. Next up is regret trades. So you're gonna typically have a lot of these in the beginning. These are the trades that in your evaluation process, you go and look at the trades that you made and you're just like, scratching your head, looking at the chart pattern afterwards, like, what? Why was I even in that trade in the first place? So you need to be able to identify that, guys. If you're making regret trades that you're going in for afterwards and seeing the losses that you're sustaining from all these regrettable trades because they weren't even good chart patterns to begin with, you need to identify that and own it and fix the problem, okay? So that's a lot different than placing a good trade that just didn't work out, as opposed to placing a trade to a half-assed trade setup. And if you're continually looking at these trades and thinking, man, why was I even then in that in the first place, okay? You gotta own that and realize that and cut it out. So obviously in your evaluation process, especially on losing days, you're gonna have some negative self-talk. So there's, you know, a whole multitude of things that could be going through your head, as well as some things that go through my head, okay? So I just have a list here of multiple things. Is one, I'm a loser, I hate trading, I suck at life, I'm so worthless, I'll never come back from this, that bridge looks so fun to jump off of right now, and fuck you, Cameron, trading is a scam, okay? So these are all things that might be going through your head and things that have gone through my head throughout my trading career, okay? But understand this, guys. If you follow this system, I can almost promise you that you will be a successful trader, okay? Learning the things that you learn in FUS 401, 2, and 3, if you can connect the dots here with what I'm trying to teach you in Cloud9 and actually process all this information and click buy and sell when you need to and get that discipline to actually do that, I promise you, you will be a profitable trader. That's just the difficult thing here. And what I'm trying to get across to you guys is that it's all mental, okay? It has nothing to do with, you know, just understanding what a chart pattern is, okay? That doesn't mean anything, okay? All that means is that you have a brain, all right? It just matters, how do you use it? How does your brain function? Can you click buy and sell when you need to? And that's what it really all comes down to, guys. Okay, so if you're stressed after a trading day, again, through the evaluation process, go do anything you can to relieve stress, okay? All the things that we have talked about up to thus far, you know, again, trading is all about finding that calm, cool, collect, level-headed state of mind that I call Cloud9, and that's what we have talked about throughout this entire training session, is how to keep yourself or your head at a level playing field throughout the entire career as a day trader. All right, guys, so what exactly is Cloud9? Cloud9 is basically reaching the ultimate state of mind where you can really just, you know, kill it in the market, okay? And there are certain conditions that have to be in place. Obviously, And importantly, the market has to be presenting these opportunities to you. And with that, you have to be, utilizing all these techniques that we've talked about to find that focus so that you can take advantage of these opportunities being presented to you in the market. And this is just like what happened for me with my $70,000 month. The market had amazing opportunities. On top of that, I was in complete Zen mode, just laser focus. Every day, I just, felt like I was in the Matrix, seeing clearly. And that's what Cloud9 is, guys, is trying to, maintain that state of mind. So when the market does present opportunities to you, you can reach Cloud9, okay? Because you have to have both those situations. You have to have the market conditions, and you have to have that laser focus and mental state that's, calm, cool, and collect, and can actually allow you to take advantage of these opportunities in the market. So you really have to take advantage of that. And another thing is, guys, is that Cloud9 is not a constant by any means, okay? If you're always constantly trying to stay up here in Cloud9, you are gonna crash and burn, okay? It's kind of like being high or something, like you have come downs and only lasts for so long. And the reason behind that is because the market is not always presenting opportunities to you. So you have to realize that. And if you're constantly trying to stay up here, but the market is not presenting those opportunities, that's when you crash and burn, because you're trying to force it. You're trying to force trades. You're trying to create something that's not there. So, you're gonna reach Cloud9 again and again and again. But at the same time, you have to realize that, sometimes you got to hold back. You got to take a step back, take a breather, and, let that, big winning streak just kind of settle in. And then once it stops, you can't just keep, pounding the table here, forcing like, man, I need to be up here on Cloud9. Okay, you got to just take a step back, breathe. Okay, you just had a killer, winning streak. You were on Cloud9. You felt the euphoria, and it felt how amazing it was. So, at the end of the day, guys, look for the market opportunities, and you have to be at a constant state of, just peacefulness. Look where I am right now. It's a sunset in Thailand. The market's actually a little bit slow right now, so I'm not aggressive. I'm just kind of taking a step back, waiting for those opportunities. But I'm trying to keep my, head on a swivel, looking for opportunities and waiting for the market to present to me the right ideas and the right trade setup, so that when they come, I can be, laser mental focus in a peaceful, tranquil state of mind. As you can see, I am out here. Just being in this setting makes me happy. It makes me confident. It makes me ready to trade. So that's really it, guys. Cloud9 is just trying to keep, a level head, trying to just, reduce the chaos in your life, reduce the chaos in your brain, so that you can go to the trading day every day with a calm state of mind. So when the market does present those opportunities to you, you can reach Cloud9. Anyways, guys, that is it. So glad you came and joined me for this latest trading. I hope you learned something, learned a little bit more about how to think like a trader, because at the end of the day, that's what held me back from actually finally becoming a profitable trader. Was I was just using that 10% knowledge. I wasn't learning how to think like a trader and understanding, how trading psychology works. But anyways, guys, good luck trading this week, and let's do it. Let's reach Cloud9.